I got started with raising capital was all wrong. I waited until I had a deal on the go. Then I desperately went chasing after it, after the money. I cold called people. I networked up a storm. I schmoozed. I spammed everybody I knew with the deal. And none of that stuff worked for me. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I've made. But then I've turned that around and figured things out. And you learn a lot from your mistakes, a lot more from your mistakes than your successes sometimes. So that would be the one that comes to mind.
You know what I love about what we're kind of skipping here is a lot of people will make a mistake or fail and then quit. And I love that you basically, this sounds harsh, but
I built my business on it, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. Because like you described, egg on your face from in a small town, that can be really hurtful and really hard. It's like, I said I was going to do this, didn't quite do what I thought I would. I'm going to quit or move on, right? But the fact that you stuck with it, and now, your life is built around helping people not do what you did. That's a huge testament to you. So well done. I think it's another kind of mindset tip is like, if you failed, that's okay. Get up.
Lots of other people probably have too, right? Or you can help a lot of other people avoid what you did.
100%. Yeah. So Dave, good on you for not quitting.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. So this one's a little tough. I mean, this is a two-part question. What is the first part is, what is your definition of success?
Well, that's not that tough. Success for me is living your life on your own terms.
I love it. Yeah. I hear a lot of people answer that similar ways, like do what you want, when you want kind of thing.
With who you want, how you want.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. And I completely agree with that sentiment. So
and I can't say I'm 100% there yet. I'd like to say I am. No, I'm a work in progress myself as well.
Yeah. If you're honest, that's the case in any part of your life. Right. So
definitely. Yeah.
Cool. And then what do you think makes you successful as opposed to others who might fail?
Persistence. Yeah. I think that would be it. So you talked on my podcast about hustle. I think it's that hustle and that persistence and just keeping going, right? Not giving up when the going gets tough. And I think that's probably the big thing.
Oh, that's so good. So I've heard this said a couple ways. One is to continue on the days you don't want to, and then my coach, mentor, friend, his name is Jens Nielsen. He told me last week, and it hit really, really hard. He said, discipline outweighs motivation every time. And so he said, you might be motivated, especially early on. Like, yes, this real estate thing is super cool. And I'm motivated. But eventually the motivation can kind of wear out. Whereas discipline, really planning to do it every day when you don't want to, that's really key. And so that's the same thing as persistence. So I've heard a similar answer again many times, but that's, the way you put it is perfect. It's just being persistent.
Well, yeah, and I think discipline is huge, and I can't claim to have phenomenal discipline. It's something that I'm working on. I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, I was really overweight and out of shape, and not that I'm buff by any stretch of the imagination now, but at that time, that whole 75 hard thing was kind of a rage. Did you hear about that? Have you?
Yep. Yeah. Had a couple of friends do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that not once, but twice. And I tell you, talk about something that forces you to learn some discipline if you actually do it. Like if you're not cheating on it. So the reason I did it twice is the first time I made it to day like 42. And then I screwed up one of the stupidest little things that you're supposed to do. And the deal is, if you screw up, you have to start all over again from zero. You have to reset the clock and start on day one. And knowing myself, I said, hey, if I restart now, I'm going to convince myself to take a few weeks off. I'll get back into the beer and pizza and everything will be screwed up. Right. So I said, okay, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish it, but I won't claim success. I'll finish the 75 days. So I did take a couple of weeks off, and then I redid it and actually did all 75 days the way it's supposed
incredible.
To. But that was probably the best thing I've ever done for teaching myself a little bit about discipline. Not that it's all stuck by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of us, if you haven't had a military background, if you haven't been forced to go through boot camp or something like that, we don't really learn self-discipline. We don't learn discipline, or unless you're part of a sports organization or something big like that, right? So that was good for me.